Hey guys, it's Tony Guittari here from Achievers Group with another business video vitamin. Hey guys, I really wanted to continue to talk about some teachings about finance, the importance of cash flow, the importance to having financial intelligence of what's going on in your business. Because sometimes, we're a bit like me, you're very sales and marketing orientated, okay, and you just love selling, but you don't look after the really important things like the financial health of your business. So I just wanted to share you some insights into what are the financial drivers to business success. Because really, you want to measure the impact of the things that you can control. So what are the things from a financial perspective that actually make up the financial drivers of your business? And that's what I'd like to talk about right now. So first of all, days receivables. It is clearly evident to me that one of the greatest areas to improve your days receivables is actually just measure it. Most organisations we work with is that one of the key areas that we find an enormous amount of money is enhancing their days receivable process and systems. Occasionally, we employ someone specifically to look after their receivables. Occasionally, in the past, we've noticed that sometimes the owner is trying to collect the receivables, and that's not good because the owner is also the salesperson and the actual money collector. And unfortunately, sometimes the owner is so nervous that they won't get any more business. If they ask for their money, they avoid asking for it. So really, what we've advised a lot of people to have is have an Olga. An Olga is someone who really is tough, who really doesn't take any crap, who actually is there to actually collect money. And one of the key things that you could do is actually even pay them a bonus if they reach a certain KPI. And usually that's the amount of days they collect things. So it's clearly important to actually grade your receivables. These are the receivables in 0 to 30 days, 30 to 60 days, 90 days plus. Your key is to collect all your 90 days because a lot of people think if they don't actually have to pay you within the next 90 days, they don't have to pay you at all. And continue to reduce your days receivables. Next one is days payable, which is how many days on average do you take to pay your bills? Now what I'm suggesting here, guys, is that really be smart about this. If people give you 30 days from statement to pay for a product, to pay for a service, for goodness sake, use the 30 days from statement. Don't be a hero. There is no reward for paying people early. The key is understand when they're willing to receive payment and pay on that day. And that's really easy via the internet because you could delay those payments until the time is due. Alternatively, if you want to pay people earlier, that's fine. But here's what you need to do. You need to ask for a settlement discount. You need to have the courage, ask and you shall receive, to actually go and ring up your supplier and say, hey, look, Bob, I know our terms are 30 days from statement, but I've got really some money here to pay you right now. I was interested, would you be interested in exploring an early settlement discount if I pay you this money tomorrow? They just might say yes. And not only that, sometimes it's outrageous. Some of our clients, we can get a 5 to 7% settlement discount for paying that within 14 days as opposed to 30 days. That's a 5% discount. That is insane. Next one is the cost of goods. Are these costs of goods variable or are they negotiable? Can you negotiate cost of goods? Of course you can. Clearly evident to me that you should always be exploring supply alternatives. You should always be seeking what are the other different ways that we could buy this product. Clearly, a lot of companies now go offshore to buy products because really some industries are way too expensive to manufacture in Australia on a global economy. And that's just smart business. It's smart business knowing that I can get the same product overseas manufactured at half the price. The next one is fixed costs. Now fixed costs you've got to ask yourself the question, are they truly fixed or can they be negotiated? Fixed costs are things like rent. Renegotiate your rent. There are certain areas that are fixed, but fixed doesn't mean non-negotiable. So please look at your fixed cost and negotiate everything. Have this real passion of actually negotiating everything. And inventory levels. You know, I worked for a very large retailer, and the problem of having a warehouse is you fill it. And I share a funny story that we recently upgraded our kitchen. The problem with expanding your kitchen is, guess what happens? You fill it with appliances. And here is the point that I'm making, okay? Having a big warehouse is not an asset. It could be a liability. Because as soon as you have a big warehouse, you fill it. And one of the key principles that I've learnt as a very astute, passionate retailer is order often, order light. Right? And clearly, it's not about the price that you buy the stock at. That price is only rendered successful once you sell the stock. So there's no point in getting an amazing deal for buying 22 container loads of something if it takes you 27 years to sell that stock. That is actually insane. The other things that you should really consider in driving is price. Clearly, one of the easiest ways to improve anyone's cash flow is just to improve the price. Now, I know what you're saying, I can't do that, I'll lose all my customers. Well, I'm not sure about that. Sometimes the biggest issue we have in price is not with our customers, but with us. Because we have this poverty mentality. We have the poverty mentality that says, I've got to be the cheapest. And not only that, we actually have salespeople who aren't really salespeople, they're order takers, screaming and hollering, boss, if we increase our prices, we're going to lose all of our business. In our experience, and this is our experience, when we work with clients to convince them to increase their prices, usually by about 5% increments, because your price should be increasing greater than the current inflation rate, because if not, you're going backwards. We have noticed an outstanding aspect. If it's done correctly, if it's done in 2 phases, if it's done by sending a letter to them, it is extraordinary. Not one of them has lost a customer because of that price increase. And imagine what a 5% price increase would do to your profits and to your cash flow. And of course, another driver is actually just selling more. Can you sell more goods and services? It's understanding, should we be focusing on selling more to our existing customers, which is increasing the frequency of transaction? Could we actually sell an additional product? That's called cross-selling. Or could we find new markets that we should be selling into? So one of the areas of improving finance is actually selling more. So guys, I just wanted to give you that teaching. I hope that has helped you. And please recognize that it's really important to immerse yourself in financial intelligence. What are the key financial drivers that make a truly successful business? Until next time, God bless you. Have an amazing day.